Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legion Outpost. I'm so glad you're here with us today. We are going to be taking a look at some of the news that came out recently. For the first time, Atomic Mass Games has put out an article. Now, this is probably something they're going to do a little bit more as they get their web page up and running. They have not had a web page up and running for Star Wars Legion. If you go to Atomic Mass Games, all you see is Marvel Crisis Protocol, and their web page doesn't have a lot of real articles. They do a lot of their stuff from Twitch and from other social media areas, and it's good, but it's nice to be able to go and actually see every unit and see the article and different things like this. So they've done an article because they are trying to announce what's going on with their new faction or sub faction or battle groups or whatever you want to call it. They are releasing a new box set, and their box set is a Shadow Collective box set, and now they're giving us a little details about some of the units in there. So the news today is on Black Sun Enforcers. Now, we're going to take a quick look at these cards. There's a quick look at their layout of the cards. Now let's go to the actual article. And so the article right here starts off, "We're not mercenaries," Zim Grinseed says, from Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Okay, so Black Suns are not mercenary. They're a crime syndicate. They rose to power during the tumultuous events of the Clone Wars, seizing opportunities and created by the Jedi focused on military affairs. The Black Sun gained influence quickly, establishing itself as a formidable crime family, primarily focusing on the trafficking of Sentinel life forms. So they're, well, I wouldn't want to say human traffickers, but they're slave traffickers. They get into like the nastiness of Star Wars, the slave trade, the sex trade, all that stuff. They trade people, where you see the other people, the Pikes, are mainly spice traders. Now these guys are thugs and they're really hard. And so let's get back into the article. The Black Sun successfully continue into the creation of the Empire, and even into the era of the New Republic. See, nobody's really been able to deal with them. They've gotten so big. They even got like, you see headhunters and stuff. They've got a little starship fleet that they have. So they're a major player in the galaxy. And especially you see that in some of the books and comic books, and even some of the video games. And so the backbone of the Black Sun forces is its enforcers, efficient ruthlessly and utterly dedicated to their Vigo. In this installment of Scene from Stats, we're taking a look at the Black Sun Enforcer in Star Wars Legion. We'll get to the card later. The Black Sun employs a variety of methods to enforce their will on for their leaders. The primary weapon is the iconic BH-4 double blaster, which is kind of a cool thing in the game. It's got a black and white. They got, well, the double, so it equals a black and white, which puts them right up there with Wookiees in their ranged attack thing, and yet they have precise. And the combat reflects it in the precise one, which allows a unit to re-roll an extra attack die when spending an aim token. The unit also benefits from independent aim 1. This new ability gains the enforcers an aim token when they were issued an order, when they're not issued that order. Finally, Dauntless keeps the Black Sun moving and reflecting the dedication of their job, even while under fire. The potential combination, the keywords, means Black Sun enforcers excel at working on their own while the rest of the force is focused on the task at hand. Now, here's the thing. It's interesting that they spell out what precise is, they spell out what aim is, but they don't really spell out what Dauntless is, even though it's probably the least used of those three words that are in there. Now, with precise, you're getting to re-roll 3 dice, which is really good. And that free aim, if you don't get an action, is kind of really good. And so there is some negative things where you will look after yourself in there. We'll get into the cards, but really the what they're saying basically is these guys are going to be tough hitters. The problem is, are they going to be able to stay on the board? They only have a courage 1, which makes them hard, and that's why I'll get back into that in the cards. Well, why don't we take a look at the cards? The rest of the article you can read yourself. It's a great article for them. It's their first article, so I have to say it's great. And we'll go to the cards now and take a look at them. So we got Atomic Mass logo up there. And let's take a quicker look at these cards. Now, we're going to go up to the unit card first. And the unit card is kind of interesting. It's 48 points. It's kind of a decent point range. It can be used for Empire and CIS. I see it maybe taking... I don't know if it's really going to see much play there. It might only be played in a Black Sun or in the Shadow Collective, but you never know. You could see that it may be coming in. It has a place that's kind of in between like Fleet Troopers and Snow Troopers with the dice of like Wookiees, but the health of only Troopers. So it's kind of in a weird place. But with some of the upgrade cards, it's not too bad. So anyways, you can take a heavy, you can take a support, you can take a equipment, and you can take a grenade. Now, the keywords are Dauntless, Independent Aim. At the start of your activation, if you do not give them an order token, they get aim, which is kind of what you don't have to worry about giving them order tokens. And that's maybe where they come into play in these other units, is that they're going to get an aim, so you don't need to worry about their order, and then you can just kind of leave them to the end. Precise with that aim tokens, that triggers well. Self-perseverance. When checking whether you panic, you cannot tech against the courage of any other affiliations. So now here's one of the things is, if you're taking them as like a mercenary, they come in. Now you have to have your own core. So this would be the 4th core unit in that situation. And so they would come in and they would not have the courage against, like, say you put them with Vader. Well, they're going to run where other guys wouldn't run with Vader. Now, you can always bring in their Vigo and give them the courage of their Vigo. And I think he's probably going to be courage 2, so that gets them up to at least 4 before they panic. So there's some things. Now, you can mitigate this. As I said, there is cards up there. The Black Sun Enforcer gives you a cachet dodge, which is kind of good. You can take a dodge early, and you can use that anytime during the game, one time. It's a one-time use thing, but it gives you something for taking the normal guy. I kind of wish they would go back and do that with some of the troopers for the Rebels and the Imperials and different things like that, because then you might take that extra guy for a dodge or an aim. Or something like that. Now, Black Sun Vigo, as in the unit, as a unit leader, he gives them independent surge, which is kind of cool. So now, if you're not giving them an order, they're getting a surge, which they can use on defense and offense, and they're getting an aim. So that's kind of cool. Plus, he becomes a leader, and he increases their courage. So now they're courage 2 value. So that's almost like an automatic for this list. So like you're basically adding it up to 68, right? 68 minus 2, so 66, a 66 point unit. And then you're putting in the heavy. Now, the heavies, there are 2 heavies here. One is a close range heavy, which is kind of cool. Range 1. And he gets 3 blacks, and it gives him blast and impact 3. He's throwing a grenade. Otherwise, you're going to have black and white when he's shooting at his range 2. You're going to want these guys close anyway, so that might be a handy little thing. I mean, people might not think much about it. And then you basically get the Fleet Trooper gun, the scatter gun, 2 reds at range 1 to 2 and Pierce 1. Always good to have Pierce 1, and this is a good way to get Pierce into some of those other factions that don't get Pierce as much. Like when you're playing Rebels, you get Pierce a lot. So, and I play Rebels and I like Pierce, but this gets this into other factions. Like, this gives a core unit in your CIS that has Pierce. This gives you a core unit in your Empire that has Pierce. So that could be handy. That could be a nice little upgrade for that. So these upgrades are not too bad. And it's just, will they get to the battlefield because of the drawbacks of their courage being not able to check with other people? I think with the Black Sun Vigo, you're going to have to put them in. And so you're looking at an 86.2, a 90-point unit before you get any upgrades. And so there could be good, but I see some drawbacks, but that's how you just got to get to playing them and seeing how they go. But here's the thing, to be honest, let's just take a look back at that article, because I want you to take a look at this, because the reality is, look at how beautiful these units are. Like I know that some people are going to complain, well, why don't we finish the other things? You know, we got lots to order. There's lots of things to get. And that's true. We do have a lot of things I want to see before they finish with this Legion. There's a lot of stuff for the original stuff. There's a lot of stuff for the Clone Wars. It still needs to come out. But these units look beautiful. Like, I can't wait to paint these. They look cool. If for nothing else, the Shadow Collective is going to be a beautiful set of models on the table. And so, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this. And this is just a quick update from their articles. And I'm sure we're going to see more of these because their website will be up and running. But in this note, I just want to thank you guys for continuing to support me. I do notice that there is a lot of people that view the videos that don't like and subscribe. Take the free opportunity to like and subscribe for me. It does help. It helps get the videos out there to other people, but it also helps to get me motivated to keep making videos and communicating with you guys. Now, remember, if you comment and like and subscribe, you'll be entered into our draw right now. And our draw right now is for a 3D printed hut for Star Wars Legion. And the reality is, why not subscribe? It doesn't cost you anything. And if you make a comment, I will respond to you. I try to make sure I respond to every comment. And so that's how we build community. Okay, guys, thank you. And may the Force be with you.